Hey you. Yeah, you. You didn't stumble here by chance. So let's talk. My name is Tyanne, but a lot of people call me Taj. And I'm most known for my loud New York personality. Brooklyn, to be specific. And my unfiltered opinions. And most recently, for being your favorite homegirl. Yeah, because I'm a realtor too. Don't forget that. And the Melanated Mindset is a safe space for unpopular opinions and heated debates amongst the diverse melting pot of those of us that identify as a melanated millennial. Now, I can't speak for y'all, but after seeing what being an adult is really about, nah, I got some things to say. And I know y'all do too. So let's talk about it, because what's really going on? What is up, y'all? Can we take a moment? Can we really take a moment? Matter of fact, y'all know the vibes. Can we take a sip, please? Because y'all, mm, y'all, I know, I know, I know, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're probably gonna ask, and y'all know, anytime that I take a break, it is 100% unintentional but intentional. I just want to first and foremost start by saying thank you. If you are a part of the tribe and you were excited to get this notification, if you were excited to see this video, if you are just happy to have me back, thank you, because I am so happy to be back. Because when I say, y'all, absolutely nothing about my life is the same as the last time that I turned on this mic. I I don't even know. I kind of don't know where to start. I guess we'll start where I always start. A new season, because can y'all believe it? Season 5. It may have taken me 6 months to get here, but if you listened to season 4, specifically season 4, episode 9, I think it is, where I kind of had an aha moment about what I genuinely in my heart believe is my life's purpose, then you would know. Like, y'all, that was a lot to digest. And the fact that it happened like live on air, that was something I could not even anticipate. So it took a while for me to digest that. I really had to try to come up with a game plan. You know, the Virgo kicked in just a little bit. I'm so sorry if y'all hear a lot of noise in the background and trucks. Y'all know I live in a new construction area. As far as like where I left off last season, like y'all, I really had to sit and come up with a game plan on how I could really fulfill that purpose while simultaneously making sure that my bills were covered, because y'all living in the same world I'm living in. I've been gone, but I ain't been asleep. All right. Inflation is crazy. Life is crazy. And essentially, like, I need to figure out a way to balance my purpose, my passions, and my streams of income. And that's kind of what I've been working on in this off season. I have a new job, but we will talk more in depth about that in a later episode. I plan to do a whole episode about that, because it's not what you think. Your girl didn't give up on entrepreneurship. If you've been following me on YouTube and you're part of the tribe, then you kind of already know this. But for anybody who solely only likes to tap into my podcast, which is fine. I mean, you could tap in everywhere else, but whatever. Your preference. I love to have you wherever you like to show up and make time for me. But yeah, your girl got a new job. Your girl has a new creative space that's like insane. I actually just posted a home office reveal on YouTube literally yesterday. So, yeah, if you want to check that out, check that out. A video of me and Malik turning our guest bedroom into my home office slash creative space slash filming studio and like all of the things. A lot has changed in my friendship dynamics since I last talked to y'all. Again, another episode on that later on in the season. Malik and I are a little under 2 months away from our 10-year wedding anniversary. So, just like some things that I've learned after almost 10 years of marriage, like all of that is to come this season. Usually, with every new season, I'm usually in a new era, a new chapter of my life, sometimes intentionally, sometimes not so intentionally. And in all of these different areas, it was unintentionally. I mean, besides making it to 10 years married, but I've just been growing through so much and going through so much in these past 6 months. And it was finally time to turn the motherfucking mic back on. Okay. I can't even tell y'all I'm not finna be cursing because we got a lot to talk about. And I'm going to try my absolute hardest to make this first episode not super, super duper long. What else do I have to update y'all on? Making new connections. I've made some new connections. We hired a nanny, y'all. And this is the first time I'm like telling anyone out loud that's not Malik or my best friend. But yeah, y'all, that is why it's so loud. Your girl is finally filming during the day. Malik is at the gym. Today is actually our nanny's first day. So, y'all, my anxiety, everything I am feeling, all of the feels, and to just know that my business and my goal for my life has grown so much that I officially need a team now. She technically is the first hire of my business. So she is the first addition to the team. And y'all, oh, another whole episode on that is coming. But I just wanted to use her first day to like, get her acclimated and stuff. And I was like, you know what? While I'm like in all of these emotions and in all these feels, let me turn the mic on. She actually is staying a little bit later than we scheduled for this purpose. So y'all need to make sure that y'all run this episode up because we love her. That is like one of the biggest life changings that has happened since I've been gone. But like I said, we'll talk about that later in the season. I've been just learning how to relinquish control in my life and just really making peace with the things that genuinely and truly just have nothing to do with me and really I can't do anything about. And y'all know I've been working on that for a while in therapy, and your girl is making some progress. It's October when I'm filming this, so unfortunately you guys missed my birthday, August 25th. Big Virgo gang. But I just want y'all to know I had another amazing birthday. And if you've been listening to the pod since the last birthday, you know that last year I made it a point to make my own birthday special, and it turned out to be one of the best birthdays ever. What I did not anticipate was that this birthday that just passed, i.e., the next one, would be even better than that. I did not think that life could get any better than going to see DeVal and Kadeen live, getting selected to be on their show, going on a cruise with my man. Like, I just did not think life could get any better than that. And somehow, with hard work, preparation, and just pure alignment, this year, your girl turned 28 and flew to Jamaica to go see Chris Brown front row. So, yeah, if you have not been following my YouTube journey and you're not subscribed, you might want to subscribe because I definitely did post a vlog about that. It was insane and epic, and I still cannot even believe that I manifested that like that. Like, that was like a less than 30-day manifestation turnaround time. I kid you not. But that was amazing. Y'all saw the name of this episode. And y'all know I like to start every episode kind of with a question. So, my question to you, is what comes to mind when you hear the term survivor guilt or survivor's guilt? And I promise by the end of this episode, you'll probably have a different perspective on that term, on that phrase, than kind of what you're thinking. But before we jump into the flow of things, y'all know the vibe, but maybe you forgot. Your girl is never gonna miss an opportunity for a shameless plug, okay? So if you are OG part of the tribe, or if you would like to be, because I would love to have you, make sure that you're following me on all socials to kind of keep up with me in real time. It wouldn't have felt like a 6-month break if you was following me on other socials. I'm just saying. So make sure you head over to Instagram and follow me at Tyanne.Watson. Make sure that you head over to Twitter and follow me at Tyanne Watson. Make sure you follow me on TikTok at Tyanne Watson. And make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, okay? Your girl is trying to get monetized on YouTube before the end of the year. So help me make that happen because you love me and I love you. So head on over to YouTube and make sure you hit that subscribe button and make sure you turn your post notification on so you never miss an upload. Period. I have not done a complaint of the week and a highlight of the week. Chad, where my wine at? Cause y'all don't be judging me for drinking wine in the middle of the day. I needed something to get the nerves off. Okay, it's been an emotional filled day. Okay, but I think I would have to say that my complaint of the week is probably how scared I've been to come back. And anybody who posts content or is trying to become a content creator, then you know, like, you get scared once you fall out of the algorithm and out of the loop because it's like, is your content even going to be pushed when you come back? Is your community going to welcome you back with open arms? Are people going to forget about you? So I've kind of been really nervous. I have wanted to sit down and turn this motherfucking mic on for weeks, y'all. For weeks, but I just had to wait till the time was right. And what better time than the first day that I have help? Like, just even saying I have a nanny is like insane to me. Usually when I come back though, I feel like I always come back and it's to spread knowledge and to close a chapter. And to be quite frank, it was really hard to close a lot of the chapters I've closed in these last 6 months. And I usually come on here and like recoup and, rehash my life, but with the lessons that I've learned. And I realized that life has to happen to me in order for me to do that. And life can't really happen to me if I'm always in front of the camera or always in front of the mic. I can't teach y'all until life teach me. So in these last 6 months, baby, life been whooping my ass, okay? But I got a lot of gems and a lot of lessons to share with y'all this season. Now, for my highlights, I think my highlight of the week is definitely going to be just the creative space that I've created for myself and allowing myself to show up for myself so I can in turn show up for y'all. Like, I think I've been MIA from Instagram for like 2 weeks. Like, I haven't posted, I've been consistent on YouTube, but like, I've just really tapped in. Like, I've been swamped with work and like getting stuff together for the nanny to start. And Xavier is currently sick with hand, foot, and mouth. And I don't even want to talk about it. But like, like I have created systems and a space where like it's okay to take a break, but like now let's get back to it. And now that I have the space to just create, just sitting in here, looking around at the fruits of my labor and my hard work, and having a space in the house to myself to just exist, I cannot describe it, and I absolutely loved it. This season is gonna be rough for me because the past 6 months I've really learned some hard lessons. But I promised myself that I will always show up here authentic. I wouldn't sugarcoat things for y'all. So we're gonna be talking about a lot of personal things for me, but it's just my life. So thank you for coming along. Yeah, didn't think I was gonna start the season without a Fendi fact, did you? Oh, okay. Today's Fendi fact is from an excerpt from Mental Health Center. It's an article written by Zakari. No last name. Pretty cool. And it's very recent. This article was published in June of 2023. So the article is titled Understanding and Dealing with Survivor's Guilt. The experience of losing a loved one is often a very painful experience, whether the loss was natural or due to something completely unexpected. Outliving those around you repeatedly triggers overwhelming emotions. Survivor's guilt is a psychological condition that is most commonly associated with individuals who are there first during a crisis. Survivor's guilt exhibits various symptoms based on the reason for the trauma caused, often leading to feelings of deep sorrow, disbelief, and occasional, even a sense of accountability. It's crucial to understand the process of how survivor guilt develops, the strategies to manage it, and where to find the appropriate help, and how to successfully navigate through this challenging condition. I'm jumping around a little bit here, but another paragraph reads, however, this survivor is usually afflicted with emotional traumas resulting from witnessing an incident. Someone grappling with survivor's remorse or survivor's guilt typically wonders, why was I spared? Or could I have done anything differently? Now, before we jump into the flow of things, I gotta tell y'all, I gotta leave y'all with a little bit of homework, okay? If you missed your girl booming through your speakers or your computer screen or your phone, wherever you catch me at, can you take a second and do me a favor and go to Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you listen to the podcast at and give it a rate, leave a comment. It really, really helps the algorithm push the pod to more people so that the tribe could grow and so your girl could get a lot more opportunities. It's free. It don't cost you anything but a few moments of your time, baby. And I would really appreciate it. As I said in the intro, my life looks nothing like what it did the last time that we spoke. I kind of roughly caught y'all up. Both of the boys' birthdays have passed since the last time that you guys have heard from me. And I just want to put that out there, episode 1, excuse me, that I am going to be talking about a lot of personal feelings and experiences that I have gone through in these last 6 months. And I just want to let it be known that I do so with much respect and privacy to any other parties involved. My intention is never to offend or, kind of like paint anyone in a negative light. So I will do my best to kind of conserve people's privacy. But I also want to be true to myself and to my community that I'm building and be honest about the things that have been going on and how they've been making me feel. So anybody that may be involved in any of the situations that I may talk about this season, I just want them to know that it is with the purest of intentions and I am truly just here telling my side of the story for real to the people that care enough to listen. Yeah, so like I say, y'all, your girl got a new job, but it's not what y'all thinking. I did not give up on entrepreneurship. I am actually a realtor's assistant. So I actually made a YouTube video about this not too long ago, like giving a little life update. So like I said, make sure you pull up on my YouTube channel, but that kind of catapulted and changed my entire life because financially, your girl is in a much better space than I was in the last time you guys last talked to me. Your girl's still hustling for her dollars, but I could just breathe just a little bit easier and I'm afforded the privilege to be able to do things like hire a nanny and get help and things like that. And it has really just changed my mindset as well as the quality of our lives, honestly, for real, for real. I'm currently planning our anniversary trip because if y'all know us, ain't no way y'all thought we was bringing in a decade being married in America. Absolutely the fuck not. So I'm currently planning that. If you're new here and you want to know about my husband and I's story, about how we got married at 18 and 20, I will tell you to go back and listen to season 1, episode 5 of the podcast, a real New York love story or a real Brooklyn love story, one of those two. And yeah, just kind of listen to how we got to 10 years married because we cannot believe we made it to 10 years married. We are now the longest marriage that either of us have ever witnessed up close. And that is like a blessing, of course, but it's also a curse, right? And I'll tell y'all why. Based on everything that I just caught y'all up on, it sounds like my last 6 months have been amazing, right? Like, damn girl, you went to Jamaica, you saw Chris Brown, you making that money, you get hired a nanny, you got a new office, you got a new job, girl. It's up, and it is, respectfully, and baby, it's only up from here. But at the same time, what I didn't say was how much turmoil the people around me have been in those same 6 months, both family and friends. And that's kind of what brings me to today's topic of survivor's guilt. Can you imagine if the best moments, and I mean truly the best moments of your life or the best months of your life were the worst moments and the worst months for the people closest to you. I don't really think people take the time to think about the person in the group that's doing well or seems like they got it made when everyone around them has things that are crumbling. And that's not to say that my life is perfect. Y'all know wholeheartedly that's never how I'm coming. My life is far from perfect, and you will hear that throughout this season. But overall, things have been, I have been so blessed and so grateful. Like, gratitude is really a must because life could have been so much worse for me. However, at the same time, for the people that I care about the most, these last 6 months have been really, really, really rough. And I don't think people can even think. Like, can you imagine what it feels like to have to withhold all of the good that you've got going on so that you don't make other people feel bad because they may not have as many good things currently going on? I don't think people think about that. Like, honestly, tell me, can you imagine spending months making your accomplishments seem unimportant or maybe smaller than they are because you knew how hard it's been for other people to just make it through the day, and you don't want to come off as braggadocious, or you don't want to come off as, adding salt to injury. You never want people to feel bad. So what do? You try to suppress yourself from feeling good. Can you imagine telling yourself that it's okay to go uncelebrated because people have more important things going on, and they have bigger issues that they're focusing on, that it's okay if nobody really has the time or energy to celebrate you and your accomplishments and the things that you have going on? Can you honestly imagine what that feels like? Can you imagine dimming your light so that other people don't feel outshined? If you can't imagine what that may look like, let me paint the picture for you. It literally looks like pressure building up inside of a tea kettle. It feels like winning a gold medal in the Olympics in an empty stadium. I don't think people, and when I say people, I mean anybody on the outside looking into someone else's life, I don't think they understand how much pressure comes with being the ones that made it. It is easy to fall into imposter syndrome and to think like, oh, so and so life is so good. Like, oh, they got this, and oh, they got that. I wish I had this, or I wish I had that. But I don't think people ever take a second to put themselves in that person's shoes and realize that the people that break the generational curses, the people that are the first to do things in their families and in their friend groups and in their peers, that comes with pressure. A lot of it is self-inflicted pressure. A lot of it is societal pressure, but it does come with pressure. And I wish more people acknowledge that it's not that easy to make it out the hood. It's not that easy to upgrade your life. It's not that easy to level up. Because what happens when you reach the next level and everyone around you is still on the level that you just came from? When they say it's lonely at the top, that's what they mean. You just start becoming unrelatable. And that's when I feel like survivor's guilt kicks in. And personally, these last 6 months have felt like a never ending episode of survivor's guilt. I have felt so guilty for having it so good because I know people that are struggling. And don't get me wrong, like, we don't have everything. We have everything we need, and I'm very blessed and very grateful for that always. But I know people who don't have everything that they need or don't have everything that they want. And that makes me feel guilty because why me? Like, of all the people for God to really let live their wildest dreams, me, the girl from Brooklyn, the girl who grew up in NYCHA housing, you don't know what that stands for? New York City Housing Authority? Like, yeah, y'all, I'm a regular girl from the hood. Literally. Grew up in my little Afro Latina household, going to school in the hood. Like, that's my life. That's my story. So how? How could God give me everything I want and everyone around me is, they're still waiting for their turn? When all of your wildest dreams are coming true, and at the same time, others are fighting for their lives mentally, emotionally, financially, spiritually. You feel like you just want to scream from the top of the mountains, like, oh my God, yes, like, look what is happening for me. Look what God is doing for me. But you don't never want anybody else to feel bad or worse about any current situation that they're currently in or trying to get out of. And it becomes so hard to just be happy for yourself when people around you are maybe not the happiest or maybe not in the happiest of the places right now. In the moment that you are excited, they are not. I personally thought I knew what isolation felt like back in Italy during COVID when all of this was birthed and just a seed planted in my head. I thought I was so alone and so isolated then, but I was wrong. I feel more alone now than I ever have before. And that's not to say that, people don't show up for me. Obviously my husband, my friends, and my family. It's just, it's different. And I'm understanding that people show up for you how they are, like how they're available to at that moment, right? But I think the disconnect comes when people don't realize you have to show up for someone how they need. Just like I have to show up for these people in my life the way that they need and not just the way that I can. Because sometimes showing up just with whatever I got, that may not be enough. And I have to understand and accept that. Just like others have to understand and accept that even if they feel like they showing up, they feel like, listen, girl, I only got 20% to give right now. It's okay for me to feel like, well, in this moment, I need a little bit more than 20%. You understand? And I think everyone is entitled to their feelings. I'm also learning to take a lot of expectations off of people because realistically, in this life and in these 6 months, if I have learned anything, it's that nobody owes you shit. As sad and as blunt as that sound, and I mean nobody, not your mother, not your father, if you grown. Not your mother, not your father, not your siblings, not your friends, not your spouse, not your kid. Nobody in this world owes you shit. However, you also don't owe nobody shit. You owe yourself everything. And everybody owes themselves everything. So finding a balance in that and accepting that is hard because you almost feel like, damn, like my friends, my family, like they just don't show up for me. Nah, they just showing up however they know how. But it's up to you to be like, well, you know what? I need a little bit more right now. I appreciate that that's where you at, and I can't force you to give more than you have. But that doesn't make me feel any less empty, if that makes sense. And I know I talked about being isolated in Italy, and speaking of Italy, I just want to let the record show that I get it. I finally get it. For months in Italy, I cried, y'all, like real boo-hoo cried, and I asked God, why? Why did our parenthood journey have to start the way that it did? Like, why did I have to struggle to get pregnant? Excuse me, for 2 years just to finally get pregnant when the world is ending and life ain't been the goddamn same ever since. Like, why did this have to be our testimony? Why did this have to be my testimony? And I get it now. I understand now, because hindsight is 2020, that it was to prepare me and to prepare us, Malik and I, for what was to come. Again, we're going to go into a whole nother episode on how we arrived at a nanny. I promise. I will, how we found her, all of that good stuff. Just understand that I get it now. And if you're going through something hard and tough right now and you can't figure out why me, you will know eventually. The universe always spins the block. God always spins the block. Eventually, you will know when you're meant to. And that's just kind of how that goes. When people think that you've got it all figured out, they tend to think that they can't really add to that, right? Because you always figure it out, right? but who actually helps you figure it out? And I think that was my problem. I think that a lot of the people in my life couldn't show up for me the way that I needed because I wasn't being transparent about what I needed. I was so hell bent on being superwoman that when I finally broke and reached my breaking point, nobody really knew what to do. Nobody really knew how to help because it's like, yo, Taj always figure it out. Like, girl, you be good. Like, I'm sure you'll figure it out. And in the moment, I didn't want to hear that. I just wanted help. I wanted ideas, and I didn't get that. And when I didn't get that, I was disappointed and I was hurt. But then I realized I can't be hurt. I could be hurt, but I can't be mad that people can't show up for me the way that I genuinely need because I had spent so long putting on this facade that like nothing phases me. I don't get hurt. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm always figure it out. So what happened? The people around me expected me to always figure it out. I think that's really when I realized that nobody owes you shit. And when I realized that nobody owes me shit, I had to sit and think, why do I feel like I owe everybody something? That's the problem. I'm putting too much expectation on other people because I'm putting too much expectation on myself. I can show up for people with what I got. I don't have to give everybody my all the time because then what's left for me at the end of the day? You get what I'm saying? Why do I feel like I owe everybody something? Why do I feel bad about life being so good? Survival guilt. That's why. And I really hope that you guys have a different perspective of what survivor's guilt mean and you just could even remotely understand the survivor's guilt that comes with elevating your life, making it big, quote unquote. And then that this, I'm not gonna say the sad thing is, but like I'm really just only getting started. So if I feel like this about the blessings in my life now, I don't want to get to a point where God is blessing me 10 times over and I still feel guilty. I want to get to a point where I don't feel guilty about good things happening to me. I want to feel like I could talk about the good things that are happening to me without anybody feeling like I'm bragging, without, sounding like I'm not humble because I'm far from those things. You understand? And if you're part of the tribe, I hope that you know that. So we are at our familiar place. I promise I wasn't going to keep y'all here too long, and the camera is making sure of it, okay? So this week's word of the week is going to be released because I want this to be a reminder to release yourself of the guilt that you feel for things that were out of your control. You can't control how good things are happening for you. You can't control if bad things are happening for other people or vice versa. Release yourself from the fear that others' reality will be your own. Your life is your life, and their life is theirs. You can't make good things happen for them. They can't make good things happen for you. You can't make bad things happen for them, and they can't make bad things happen for you. So if somebody else's life is, you know, starting to, hit a road bump, that doesn't mean that yours is going to hit a road bump. And I had to learn that. Stop waiting for the other shoe to drop. Stop waiting for stop feeling like, oh, life is too good. Because that's when something bad happens, because you manifest in that. Release yourself from the thoughts that you don't deserve the good that you've earned. And I have spent 6 months trying to reprogram my brain that every ounce of success, every blessing that we have in our life right now is because of all the hard work that I have put in behind the scenes over these last few months. I'm finally reaping the benefits and I deserve every goddamn bit of recognition, whether it come from other people or whether it don't. It's okay because I in this season, in this chapter of my life, I'm celebrating me loud and proud, and I'm sorry if that offends anyone. I'm sorry if it makes you feel any less than. That's never my intention. But if that is the case, I wholeheartedly, respectfully want you to disassociate with me. I don't want my life to ever make you feel envious, whoever you are watching or listening. Anybody that feels like that, remove yourself. And I say that so humbly. Anybody that makes you feel inferior, you gotta let them go. You don't deserve to feel like that. The last thing on that is just, as someone who spent the last 6 months doing just that, releasing all of those things that I just talked about, it will take you time. It may get real lonely, honestly, but you deserve a safe space to be great and to be celebrated, even if it's just a party of one. I love y'all. Thank you for holding space for me today. Thank you for welcoming me back. It feels great to be back. And we in this thing, alright? Season 5. It's literally only up from here. Cue outro. And on that note, if you made it this far, thank you for kicking it with me and chopping it up with me. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. The love and the support, it never goes unnoticed or unappreciated. And if you want to join the conversation in real time, make sure that you're following me across all social media platforms at Tyanne Watson. But more specifically, make sure you're following me on Instagram at Tyanne.Watson, because that's where I'll post all of the polls, all of the questions, and conversation starters. That's also where you guys can expect to see sneak peeks and previews into the episodes to come. We on a new season and we on a new level. This gonna be one hell of a ride. I hope y'all are ready. Until then, I'll see you, same time, same place next week for another Melanated Monday. And remember, the goal is to be good and do good. Until next time, peace, y'all.